Yo, you already know what time it is. Welcome y'all to another, I'm about to say rendition, another edition of Brainstorming with Miles Dixon. I'm gonna go back. It was like a month and a half, almost like 2 months ago. I met this gentleman. He walked in. He was doing. I thought he was coming in to audition, and he told me what he was doing. And then what really, what I really gravitated him on was, he said, "I have a daughter." I said, "Oh, me too." Because anybody know me, my daughter just went through a little, that girly thing, and I was kind of distraught. And he was like, "Oh yeah, man, yeah." And I was like, "What you mean?" He was like, "Well, I have a daughter as well, and she's a teenager, and she lives with me." And I was like, "Miles, like she lived with you?" Like he was a unicorn. So I was like, "Okay, let me hear him." Man, we talked, we kicked it, and He interested me so much to where I said, "Why don't you just come on to the podcast?" And that was a few months ago, and I was just booking, and he gained my interest because he's a father and he's in business, he's in the film world. And before I go any further, I'm gonna let him tell him what he's doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Mari.
Hello, and hello. Thank you very much.
Three hellos.
Hey, make sure everybody hear me. I got you. Echo, surround sound, Dolby Digital, whatever you need.
Dolby Digital. So, Mari, tell the people exactly who you are and what you do.
All right. Well, of course, amongst other things of being a father, a very dedicated one, I am a financial consultant, and I am actually also a podcaster that is centered my talks around personal development and financial literacy.
Okay. So he also went to karate school. See the way he chopped this damn table? He went to karate school. So that's what interests me. He said I'm a dedicated father first, and that's when I first met him, and he stuck to it, and that's how I know this is meant to be. I'm in the process of doing some things and becoming more of a dedicated father because I'm co-parenting. So how is co-parent? I mean, how is being a full-time parent and business? How is fatherhood and business working for you?
Well, you know what? It's one of those things where, I would have to say I had a late start in life because I had my daughter when I was 23. And unfortunately, at that time, I still was just getting myself together. So I didn't complete that before I had a kid. So you see, the problem is trying to get her together, keep her straight, while also developing myself, learning who I am and everything in between. So it's been a slow grind just to get to this place now where finally I'm just now breaking ground in the things that I want to do as far as like acting and being consistent with that and trying to build my business for motivational speaking, but making sure that she doesn't fall by the wayside because of things that I want to do because she didn't ask to be here.
Most definitely.
So I owe her first.
Give him a round of applause for that. She didn't ask to be here, which is very true. So your dedication is definitely to her.
Always.
So I started looking at that fact of like my baby didn't ask to be here. So I have to do the best I can. And not to be the first of all, I got to be the best person I can possibly be for me, so I can be the best father to her. You know what I mean? So, see, that's sentimental.
That's right there.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, that really did something. When I met him, I gave him my book, and I want to see exactly too. I want to see actually what did he get out of it. By far, as you can tell by his voice and the way he chooses words, he's very well spoken, and he inspires to be the best life coach and motivational speaker possible. But me, y'all already know. It's up to you. I just said in my Facebook earlier today, if you don't have nobody rooting for you, you might not be the champion you think you are.
Whew, that's a spanking right there.
Because you have to really think about in order to be a champion, you need to go through training. You know what I mean? You have to know when to throw punches, when to hold the punches, when to go in for the knockout. And being a champion might not be for you at this time. Everyone is designed to be a champion. But if you don't understand the oppositions or the training you have to go through to be a champion, you'll probably never get there. And it seems like you are knocking out one champion at a time. If you champion fatherhood, man, business ain't gonna be nothing for you.
No, I'll take your word for it.
That's gonna be a cinch. I mean, because to be a great father. To be a great father, you definitely gonna be an excellent businessman because you understand the process. And when you understand the process, you have no other choice but to win. Shout out to my guy Aaron Sanders. Because all he do is win. Ooh, look at that bowl of chocolate up there looking good. Yeah, I'm talking about me, Nicole. Yeah, me.
She looking out the window like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that's chocolate. Is that dark? She's funny. Hey, y'all, Nicole's showing a sense of humor. She's showing off today. I ain't gonna tell you why, but she looked at something by the eyes. Bam,
man.
boom, got him. So Mari, when you what were some of the things that you wanted to ask me about the book?
Well, the one thing that stood out to me was a few things, because I mean, one thing I like about this book is that it's straight to the point. Each chapter is defined and it's simplistic, and then at the end of it, you always reiterate what the main focus should be out of that.
Right.
But I always like books or talking to people who share a part of themselves, because we live in this world that's so fictitious, and everybody want to put up all these facades.
Yeah.
So when you mention some of the deeper things about you, I like that mostly out of the lessons, because it allowed me to get a chance just by reading it. I got to know you a little bit better, even without even talking to you.
Most definitely.
And those parts that was heartfelt that you shared, I was able to connect myself in some of those things that I've experienced too.
And that was my sole purpose.
You got it. It worked.
To do so. Like, Nick, give me a couple examples.
All right, but like when you just talked about like when you're on the cusp of, and I could only imagine, because I mean when I'm reading this, I'm just playing this in my mind, which is probably easy since I'm an actor, the whole movie thing. But just
right.
For you to, your mother has brain cancer.
Yeah.
She's on her deathbed. They're trying to figure out who you going to be staying with.
Oh, yeah.
And trying to figure out, what you're going to do with your future, when you were talking about, if they want you to go to college or not, and you had to make that stance while dealing with the turmoil of your mom. Like, that's just a lot in itself.
It was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it was beautiful that, your mom supported you even while she was going through it, because when you made that comment, I'm like, you made me feel some kind of way, and I got a degree. He was like, well, I'm going to pay somebody to tell me to open a book. I'm like, wait, hold on, man. Wait a minute. I feel some kind of way. Whoa.
Right.
No, but you're right, though.
Right.
And it ain't for everybody, but at least you was able to define that. But I thought it was beautiful that she supported you in that moment, because she laughed and said, I never heard that before.
Right.
And then that one aspect of why you was going through all the different things while you were getting your record label and record deal going, that was like, while you was having some of those doubts, that she been preparing you the whole time for that.
Oh, my God.
So that was like it right there for me. Like, man, but then you was also talking about your shortcomings, just from how you fell out with your teacher and things of that nature, and the things you had to learn from that, So, that's the stuff that stuck out to me, which also brings the question, which I'm just curious that since you buried her in Philadelphia, I'm just curious, and what made you decide to come back to Detroit instead of staying out there?
The truth of the matter, at that time, it was because my mother was born and raised in Philadelphia. So the people there had shared way more time with her than I did. You feel me? Like, I only had her for 16 years. They had her for 40 plus years. You feel me? And it's just me here. So I was like, I could jump on the plane to see her whenever I have to. You feel me? So, and plus, one thing I've learned, that when one is buried, they not in the ground no more. You know what I mean? The day my mother died, and 4 hours later after she passed away, her spirit was somewhere else. You know what I mean? And I used to be like, no, I'm going to my mama grave. Somebody, like, I thought it was disrespect. He was like, man, she not there. I said, well, where in the is she? He came, he pulled me close to him and pointed, was hitting his hand in my chest. I was like, she right here. He said, you told me, every time he said, because every time you told me something, you were like, my mother told me about this. Because my mother did. I mean, my mother was gangster in a sense. You know what I mean? She was so gangster to where at the point, I feel like I'm being interviewed. I'm about to interview you, though, but we don't get to that. I thought she was so gangster to where we went. But when I went to Philadelphia, and I remember this thoroughly, I was 11 or 10 years old. This guy said, "Oh my God, you had a boy, Flo?" She's like, "Yep." She was like, he gonna be a monster." She said, "Shit, he ain't gonna crush a grape." But I understood. My mother knew who I was, and she understood where I was going to be at in life. Because no, she didn't raise me to be rough and tough and be in the streets. She raised me to think. Even though she was a functional illiterate, she raised me to think. Even when I did wrong, she said, sit there. Tell me what you did wrong, and that's the only way you're going to get out this punishment. Because if you can't tell me what you did wrong, you're just going to apologize. I mean, you just apologize so you go outside. And then when I was able to articulate exactly what I did, she knew, like, okay, that boy going to be ready. And that's how I tell people right now, if you can't articulate exactly what you're saying and you walk away from when somebody's trying to talk to you or you walk away from something, it's going to be difficult to deal with the rest of the world. Yeah. Because they're going to treat you 40 times worse than the person that's standing in your face that you say is your friend.
I agree.
So with that being said, thank you for checking out that book. That book means a lot to me. Part 2 is coming out, which is called The Book of Bedford, and it's dedicated to one of my mentors, Brother Bedford. So let's get to you.
Okay.
Now, motivational speaker. Who's your favorite motivational speaker right now? And I'm going to give you my top 2.
I listen to Eric Thomas a lot.
My number 1, give him a round of applause for that one right there. Bam. He went from making $500 for speaking to $218,000. Man. He got an office right across from Dan Gilbert's.
No, I didn't know that.
Right downtown at the you know that? He got an office. Dan Gilbert's office right there. Eric Thomas' office right there. Yes. So it's just something to think about. So what do you like to speak?
He only named one.
Huh? Oh yeah, he only named one. What else? Who else?
You know what? That's the only person I could really name. Only because outside of him, then I kind of just pull from a lot of just different sources, so I couldn't really give you any other names per se.
Well, I'm about to give you another person to look up. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
You need to look up Bro Bedford, B-R-O, Bedford, B-E-D-F-O-R-D.
All right.
Then you need to look up George Fraser, F-R-A-S-E-R.
Got it.
Okay. And definitely look. It's some more I could definitely name off. Dennis Kimbrough is another one. Les Brown is good at what he do, but Les Brown don't care where he get his dollar from. He said I don't care if the person is brown, orange, green, white, purple.
Yeah, Les Brown.
Les Brown. So, but he has a lot of good points. But I'm always blackity black, so
I saw that. You're 90-10, right?
Yes, there you go. See, 90-10. You see, my rule is 90% of my business go to black folks, 10% go to others. Very true. So let's dive into your acting. What's some of the things that people could check out that your acting career, where you at with it, and what you plan to do?
Well, if I to be honest, I'm actually, and that's the thing about we talked about as far as parenting and sacrificing. I just now started really getting into it. So in the last couple of years, I've done a lot of different short films. But if we had something that is out there, one film which is still accomplishment, something that is out on Tubi, is called Good Thief. So you can check that out. And then I was also in, shout out to Darren Brown. I was in Melanin, so I played a lead character in that film as well. So that's coming out.
That's why you look so damn familiar. I've been seeing you on editing all this week.
Oh, that's fine. Well, there you go.
Okay, there you go.
So we got that coming out.
Saying he looks so familiar.
Yeah. There you go. So that's coming out, but we're gonna keep on rising and whatnot.
Yeah, somebody like a man with a man bun, which is good. They were talking about male buns today on the news. You see that?
What did they say?
Mari, what's her name? Mari, the sexy lady. She's like, I love a man with a good man bun. I'm like, they so freaky on the news. Anyway, so Mari, dealing with, like you said, there's a lot of things you sacrifice as being a full-time father.
Yeah.
But you at the age where you can tell your daughter, like, go to bed.
You say, am I at that age?
No, she's at that age where you can just tell her, go to bed.
Yeah.
And don't come out.
I don't even have to say that because my daughter has been groomed by me where we're basically the same person. She's me if I was a girl. So she's a girl of order. Therefore, she'll be a woman of order because I'm a man of order.
Give that man a round of applause. Jesus.
Because like what you talked about, I actually explain things to her. We don't just be like, just do what I say because I said it. You know,
Right.
No, that's stupid. Like it's you break it down into categories. Most of the time, if you want them to think and feel valued as a person, you got to talk to them like a person. But most people treat kids as a subhuman category. Because you're a kid, you're not worth the same respect that I am because of that. And most people are megalomaniacs. So the only way they can feel the control.
Hold on. Say the word again because that's too many syllables. You say that again.
Megalomaniac. So we're talking control freaks. Most people are obsessed with
6
power.
syllables.
And the only way that they can feel in power is by dominating their children. So then when they grow up, you wonder why these kids are used to people not caring about them because they're the people who's supposed to love them first showed them that they didn't matter and how they feel. If it contradicted what they felt as a parent, that's the problem.
You just taught me something, and you brought a tear to Nicole's eye. So, yeah. You just taught me something serious. That's dope. And, you know, maybe you could teach me how to brush and comb my daughter's hair.
Oh, I can show you how to do her hair completely. Like, I know wash, condition, shampoo, flat iron, I know how to do all of that.
I'm not flat ironing no hair because...
Hey, man, ain't nothing like making, like, you know, if I was going to use this part of my game, I'm like... I can just imagine, like, you make a woman feel good by helping her by doing her hair.
That's all.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know what?
Because there's a magic that happens, especially for black women, when their hair is done. You see them light up in a way that money can't buy that, man. And when you know how to do that and take your time and craft it, baby, I'm trying to tell you. Because I see it in my daughter, like when she feels like she don't like the process.
You gonna be married before you get out of here. You just don't know it yet.
You don't even know it.
Right? You don't even know
it. That process, though, you know. But when I see her and she get her hair done after I get done and stuff, and just see her feel good about herself, that. Priceless.
Yeah, when my daughter get her hair done, she be like this. I like my hair, Daddy. I'm like, me too. It costs $48, but I like it too, baby.
See, I don't be feel like paying all the time. Like just sitting at the salon for a long time. I'm straight. I'm like, no, we about to do it myself. I don't
have to because our auntie do her hair. So
well, there you go. You in the game then.
Yeah, drop off, pick up. So, fatherhood on a scale to 10, 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. How do you feel about it?
20.
Don't make me cry.
Because we have the most responsible position in the universe is crafting another human being. And people don't take that serious. And you wonder why people grow up become monsters.
Hold on a second. We need a mop on aisle 6.
I'm just saying.
No, but you're right. You're right. Well, you 1,000% right.
Yeah. So it's like, I remember the things that have happened to me, both through action and inaction from my parents. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to make sure the next generation got a chance to do better, and that's really that. And that means I have to do it on purpose, or like you say in the book, just repetition, being consistent, focusing on that. That's it. So it's like I want my daughter, because I always tell her, I'm like, a prerequisite for growing up is you don't have to grow up broken like I did and a lot of other people. And I'm going to make sure you're not going to grow up broken. And when circumstance of life happens, we're going to work through it effectively so it doesn't have to become brokenness.
That's dope.
Because you can work everything out.
Very true. I am teachable, y'all. I am listening. I am receiving what another man is telling me. This is how iron sharpens iron.
That's okay. Right. That's scripture.
Yeah, that's scripture.
That's scripture.
The scripture. You really messed me up with this male bun, this hair bun. But
it's lazy, man. I ain't gonna do nothing with it. Like, all right, here we go. We out. Like,
because I never forget my cousin. Like, man, no man with a hair bun gonna tell me what to do. You cannot judge a book by its cover, and you better listen with your godly ear, not with your dumb ass ear. That's just my word of advice to everybody.
All you gotta do is remember that. Yeah. Ike Turner, at least in the movie, put the fear of God, and he had a whole bow bun around, and he'd just look at you like,
he had a bob.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, bet you one of them say nothing sideways. Like, what was that? I didn't catch that.
Yeah. I don't think nobody caught it. You know. Anyway,
that's the meme. You know, it's just like, you seen gas, and like you was looking at gas like that, like, oh, $6 now.
No, if we get to $6, I'm not going nowhere,
man.
It was last I put in my car. It was $4, $3.99.
Man.
So I'm see you put fatherhood on the highest pedestal it could possibly be in. So that's great. Where would you put acting?
For me, I put acting at a 8. And here's why I say that. I love storytelling, characterization, and the whole fullness of it. But if I had to be honest, my worldview is a little bit different from most people. In this case, I do it because it's my passion. But is that like ultimately what I'm meant to do? That I don't even know.
Right.
I'm just enjoying it while I can, or why I'm allowed to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I realized everything's up for grabs, because it took me a long time to understand that in this life, a lot of things ain't up to me. It never was.
Right.
So I'm not like a control freak in that way. That's why I can speak against it, because a lot of it is like, how many people thought they was going to wake up today and they didn't? You know what I mean? Or somebody who set out on their day normal and they got in a car accident and they died or got paralyzed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So when I think about this, like, I just make the most of what I can, but I'm not caught up where if I had to let something go, I can.
Right. And that's dope. Give him a round of applause for that. I tell anybody, that boy good. That boy good right there. So for my people who know me, I'm gonna say it clearly. Okay, I know we just met a while ago, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna look the camera dead in the face. Stop dreaming. Start doing. If you believe that you continuously dream, and dreams don't always be good, nightmares approach. And it all depends on what you intaked or intook spiritually and sometimes physically. You have to wake up. And waking up to a nightmare ain't no joke. So placing your faith in a dream, it's kind of stupid. Do it. Then you'll have no regrets. Regrets only come when you don't do. Everybody who had a vision that's now what we call successful, they wasn't dreaming. They were doing. So all I'm telling you right now, mano to mano, as they would say, start doing. Stop dreaming. Okay? And that's Miles' word of the day. No, but seriously, so
That's real. That's real.
But that's what I got out of what you just said. You know your reality. And knowing your reality is important.
Yeah, because I mean, I met you. Well, we spoke some years ago. Remember, I used to work at Flagstar, like over 10 years, some years ago.
Right.
And it's funny how like some things like timing. So even though I met him, we had a few conversations. It was meant for it to happen now, for me to meet him, and it took me a long time to understand that, because let's just be honest, as men, you know, if you're a man's man, you want to be able to carve your way. You want to be able to have something to stand on. We define ourselves by what we actually have created and accomplished. So you feel like you can't do that. And, you know, for us being black people as a whole, being disenfranchised, we have another layer of pressure that a lot of cultures can't even relate to. So I had to struggle with that for the longest because I had a baby. And I'm thinking like, I failed in that aspect because I'm not going to leave her out in the cold. But now I've already grew up in poverty. I know what it's like not to know where your next meal is coming from as a kid.
Wow.
In the wintertime with no electricity, no heat, no running water. Wow. I've had that happen a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm constantly in a state of fear because I feel like poverty is chasing me. So I'm trying to get beyond this, and now I have a kid, and I got to now even more be more strategic and stuff because of an emotional choice I made. Right. Stuff like that. So
that worrying about the future can create anxiety for a lot of people. Yeah. And anxiety sometimes can be good because you could use it as fuel, but some people drown in it like it's vomit. You feel me? Yeah. Because they get so carried away and they get in their own way. I'd like to thank you for coming on the show today.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
We had a great conversation. I know people like, we want an hour. No, we're not. We're not doing an hour because what it is, I want other people to get a chance to get to see the guests that I have. Gotcha. So when they see them, they're like, I want that guy on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ask me back.
Yeah. Ask for Mari. So when you think about fatherhood and you think about business, you have to think about Mari. And the reason why I say that because he's the first, well, he ain't the first, but he's the first person in this business that I know who have full responsibility over their child. Can I just ask you a question? How is it something tragic that happened while you have your daughter for yourself, or?
No, nothing tragic. Well, I'll say like not tragic from the sense of like somebody died or something like that. It was more so the aspect of what is it going to take and what choices am I willing to make sure that this little girl does not grow up in the same circumstances that have caused us to fail on me and her mom's side.
Wow.
And am I strong enough to fight the fight necessary to make sure that she has a chance at winning and not having to basically dig out of a ditch, being born into a system in the world you didn't ask to be a part of. So I had to handle my business, basically. I had to go to war. I'll say it like that.
You got somebody warm as hell in here, Mari, and it ain't me. So, I'm just, I would say moist, but moist ain't the word, okay? So anyway,
Duncan Hines.
Yeah, Duncan Hines. Okay, he over here Duncan Hines in the dub.
The upper room.
When Jesus comes. Okay. Yeah, that's what he said, the upper room.
There you go, anyway, upper room on the mother.
So,
bust up in the mother.
I'm just going to bust up in that mother.
That's right.
Anyway, we silly. We like to have fun. But, Mari, can you tell people where they can find you at, like your social media handles and anything? Yes.
As I progress, you will see me under the name Mari G. And you can follow me on Instagram. It's S_DOT03. So that's S_dot. And you can find me on Facebook as Mari G. So that's MARI G dot. So Mari G. And I'm on TikTok and all that stuff. But if you go on those, you'll see my links in there, and you can follow me on everything there and go from there. So.
I like to give a brief. Okay, Nicole. I like to say shout out to people who leave inspiring words upon my Facebook. One person that says a major part of pursuing peace is knowing what to address and what to ignore, and I totally agree. That goes out to Angel McCoy. Angel McCoy, thank you for the word of the day for me. It was passed on through Hart Ramsey. Mari, thank you for coming out. Y'all know me. You can find me, MDixon313 on Instagram, Miles Dixon, the Mediapreneur on Facebook, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. It's the Rise and Grind morning show. Tuesday night at 9:30 on Girth. Thursday at 7 p.m. You can always find me right here or at Brainstorm with Miles Dixon, 9 o'clock, The Truth. See you later. Till next time. Peace.
Oh, man, we had one more.